Thank you for visiting West Coast Auto Enthusiast. Today we're featuring a 1971 Chevelle. This is a Malibu conversion that's been badged as an SS. There's a ton of information and documentation on this car, and I'm not going to have time to go over all of it. The short story is this is the late Kevin Duckworth's car. He bought it and spent I think about $40,000 restoring it and passed away. It was bought by another person locally, who then kind of just took it and fine-tuned it. And so when Kevin did it, he did it just as a street performance car. It was all performance, so it wasn't necessarily refined or finished. Everything was functional. It was just, this is now probably qualifies as a show car. And as you can see, the paint, the grill, all that stuff is in ridiculous condition. There's your engine compartment. You can see the condition of the hood. I mean, this car's never been wet, never been driven in the rain. It's in incredible condition. It's got a NOS tank in the back. It's been heavily modified engine-wise. So one of the things the current owner did was he took and just cleaned up the engine compartment. So he took the MSD ignition and put it in the firewall there in behind. So it's just to clean this area up. And did a bunch of stuff. You can see what kind of shape this in headers. I mean, this is a very nice car. So my goal today will be to show you mostly the condition of the exterior and the paint and the body. And let me get underneath here and show you just real quick. Everything is new, basically. There are no leaks. Steerings, bushings. It's got quicker suspension on it. It's got Krager mags. The paint is immaculate. This is definitely one of the nastiest hot rods we've had in here. It just sounds ridiculous. You can see the top's in great shape. So let me go through some of the equipment real quick, and let me get the keys and I will open up the trunk. So one of the nice things about this was when they did the NOS, they so blacked out signal indicators there, dual exhaust. The chrome is perfect, as is the deck lid. And in the back here, I mean, you can see all this stuff. I mean, it is clean, all new. So let me open up the trunk here real quick. It's all been dynomatted, so they've soundproofed this entire car. You've got your spare tire here with your houndstooth covering. You've got speakers and a couple amps back here. I mean, you can see the condition of the trunk, the condition of the underside of the deck lid here. There's your NOS tank, which is fully set up and operational. You can see, I mean, this car is clean. So I'm going to walk around. I'll show you the rest of the body here, and then I'm going to try and go through the modifications really quickly so that you can see. I mean, this is such a pretty car. All the chrome's immaculate. It's got a very heavy tint on the windows. Kevin did that, I think, just so he could drive around and not be recognized or hassled. And the funny part about that is by the time this car was done, the police knew who he was and didn't bother him at all. So there's your door panels. He put Recaro sport seats in it. Now what Kevin did was he had this mounted actually further back, and the current owner had to take and remount him up front so that your average person could access them to him. You've got 5-point safety harnesses in here. You can see the back seat is very, very clean. I mean, it's a beautiful car. The headliner is immaculate. The steering wheel is removable, so it's got a lock on it. You can take it off. I'm going to leave the door open actually when I start this thing, because it's so dark in here once you get it going. So there's you can hear that external noise. It's a power boost that the guy added to it. So the cowl induction in the hood works. That's operational. So you've got a Hurst shifter, you've got a line lock here, you've got a NOS button here. So this this gauge box in the middle here is your oil, pressure, water temp, and stereo. This is completely removable, and it's removable in that all your gauges in your dash are still operational. So you could take this out basically, and it would just be just your straight center console again. So there's your tack, original stereo, thermostat stuff. So there's your gauges, fuel, temperature, all your lights, so signal indicators work, wipers. Not that you'll ever use them in this car. So as I mentioned, the steering wheel's removable. It's got a lock right here. Your hazards, I mean, your fire extinguisher. I mean, just ridiculous. This car is just, and you can hear it. Just over the top. I mean, definitely there's your cowl induction up. Just nasty. This is just a nasty car. So I'm going to go through the list real quick and tell you some of the stuff that's been done, just to go over the list. It's the engine work was done at Tom's Performance. The Malibu was upgraded to SS badging. It's got the 350 in it. It's been dyno-matted. It's got a NOS tank. They completely redid the engine compartment. It's got 411 diff in the back end. Quicker suspension, as I mentioned. The Turbo 350 was just rebuilt with the shift kit in it. MSD ignition. It's got front disc brakes and drums in the back. It's got a shut-off on the battery, the removable steering wheel, Recaro seats, a heavy tint on the windows, the removable center console. What else? They put a new gas tank in it. It's got a half-inch stainless gas line. It's also got a new distributor carburetor, a new power pump, or a new power booster pump, and new Flowmaster exhaust. They did the Grant removable tilt wheel, which I mentioned, the cowl induction that works. The rear tires are 265/50 R16s. The fronts are 225/50 R16s. You've got hooker headers. You've got American Racing mags, Flowmaster exhaust, the CD player, and the clock works. I think that's about it. I mean, just a beautiful, nasty car. If you've got questions or would like additional information, please feel free to contact us, and we can be reached at 503-227-2354. Thank you for visiting West Coast Auto Enthusiast.